Right then, everyone, I do believe we are live. So, hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you as you join me once again for another live stream from my channel, Hybrid. Today's stream topic, as you can see by the title, and as you will be able to see when I put this screen on, it is another perfectionist stream. So, as always, when I do these streams, I've only done one before, but it did go quite successfully, and you did all enjoy it. The aim of the game today is to get 0, which, as we know, won't happen. But the idea is to get as few mishaps as possible. So as you can see here, I have got the challenge failed counter. I purposely left that on so you can see. So as I did last week, not last week, as I did last time we did this stream, I am going to try and get fewer than 10 different, well, mishaps, I guess. And I just left that counter on so I could display to you what it had looked like. So if we do fail the challenge, if we do get more than 10 mishaps, then I will pop that little counter on there. But yeah, so you will still have the opportunity to put in your requests and get the chance to see what you want to see running on the layout. Your excellent requests and wacky ideas, as always. We'll be live today until about 6 o'clock. I might go until 10 past, quarter past today. I don't know, just because we did have to start a bit later due to technical difficulties. So, however, there will still be plenty of time for usual mishaps, derailments, and banter with the live chat participants. So, I will roll the intro to get this stream underway, and I'll see you in about 12 seconds. Enjoy the stream, everyone. Right then, so we start with a different camera angle. So as you can see on the left-hand screen, we have got a different camera angle. This is simply because we. Oh, this sounds like a plane announcement. Let me try this again. Is this better? Hello, hello. Is this better? I'm using a different microphone because I didn't really like the other one. This one's got a bendable mic, so I can have it further or closer to my mouth. Might have been a bit too close there, but let me know how it sounds now. So testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. However, as you can see on the left, while that comes in, um, you can see we've got a different camera angle. Now, this is partially because I fancied having a different camera angle. Nothing wrong with that. And partially because one of my other tripods is kind of broke. Because one of the legs keeps falling out of the holder. It's sort of like a push fit, or might have like pushed and rotated into place. But one of the nodules that actually would rotate into place has come off, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm having to use my taller tripod, which means I can't have it sort of trackside view down here, which is where it normally is. So I've had to do one up there. It does look a bit different. I will have to get a new tripod at some point, but this is just what you're looking at for now. This camera over here is still the same. And because Jaden says it sounds like a pilot's announcement, I will just briefly check the audio, so just give me a minute or two. Okay, then I have tested it. Does this sound better? I've moved the microphone further away from my face and I've notched up the master volume on the microphone quite a bit. So how does this sound? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, testing. Hopefully that sounds okay. Yeah, simply because I wanted this one because I can have the mic closer to my face than the other one. Because I have noticed in other streams, when I'm not talking, there is no background noise. But when I do start talking, the background noise sort of comes in and mixing with my voice, which is very odd. You'd have thought me no talking, when I'm not talking, there would have been background noise. And when I was talking, the background noise would have died away and my voice would have just been the prominent sound. But no, it seems like in previous streams, the background noise has been creeping in only when I'm talking, which was quite distracting, and I'm sorry for that. But I didn't realise it before. Pete says it's better. Yeah, thank you, Pete. I'll just quickly check again. One moment, please. Okay, yep, that seems fine. It's about the right volume on 75% volume on my phone. So that's exactly where I want it to be. So thank you for that, guys. That's that mishap sorted. And yes, I'm going to count that as a mishap because it's funny. I'm not going to count me saying random words incorrectly like camera angle, like I said earlier, because, well, that's just too harsh on myself. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's get the trains going. So on the Grizzly line, we've got Tornado with 2 blood and custards and 2 maroon coaches. There we go. I'll let Tornado have her lap before I get the others going. And got quite a few things to talk to you about today. Haven't had a chance to type them all down onto my agenda document. I'll take a minute to do that in just a couple of seconds. I might keep this camera angle like this. I prefer not to, but until I get a new tripod, I think that's how it's going to have to be. So there's Tornado. We'll mix it up a bit and use the Triang pannier tank. Yes, that's one of the things I've got to talk about with her rake of 7 coal wagons and a brake van. That is one of the things I do have to talk about. Crikey, that didn't have to pick up some speed there. Let's notch that back down a bit. There we go. Can turn it down a bit now it's got going. And last but not least, the D11 with a Pullman coach and 2 Virgin coaches. All green locos, which is what I went for if you haven't noticed. Tornado, the Pannier, and the D11. So I'll let you watch the trains for just a couple of minutes while I get down all the things I want to talk about today. I didn't have time before the stream. Everything seems to be going around pretty well. The Triang, the pannier tank's noisy. That's just because it's a pannier tank. There's nothing I can do about it really because when I test it off the track, it's not noisy at all. It just sounds like a modern loco. But as soon as you put it on the track, that acts as a bit of a soundboard. So fortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. Right then, that's all the agenda written up. Apologies for that, I just forgot to do it earlier. I don't think I actually welcomed anyone into the chat, so sorry about that. So far we've got on the main line Jaden and Transport and More Pete, who have joined the chat. Thank you very much, both of you. I know I've addressed your comments earlier. Yeah, I just forgot to welcome you. Apologies for that, so welcome. Oh, that's one thing I forgot in my agenda. I do need to set up some sort of window capture for my streaming so I can show you what I'm on about, show you pictures and stuff. I wonder if I can set that up now. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, come on. Let me just sort this out. Oh, I'm just going to do it as a test because it would be useful to show you what I'm talking about. Wonder if I can do that. Jaden's on about pancakes. Pete seems to be very interested in pancakes. Jaden says, "What are your thoughts on pancakes?" I do like them. I'm not too keen. Well, I say I'm not too keen. I do like the American ones. It's just that I do prefer the thin ones. I mean, I will eat the American ones. Sometimes it is quite nice for a little bit of thickness. But I do prefer the sort of thin, you know, English pancake day kind of ones. I do like them though. Lemon juice, orange juice, sugar, honey, Nutella, maple syrup, whatever you put on them, I like. Unless it's pineapple and that's just wrong. What was I going to do then? Oh, it's eBay. I'm going to try and set up some sort of window capture. Do need to do this for quite a few reasons, because it's good to show you what I'm talking about instead of just describing it. Just need to Google something I'm selling. What am I selling? Triang pannier tank. I will talk to you about all the stuff I'm selling later, which is why I'm trying to pull up the browser thing. Right, I think we're nearly ready. Just for a bit of a test. On the main line says maple syrup and bacon. Very nice. I know that a place called Weatherspoons, JD Weatherspoons, they do an American breakfast, and I was going to have that a few weeks ago, but they'd unfortunately run out of pancakes, which was a bit annoying because I was really looking forward to having it. I thought we were going for breakfast, and I thought, oh, I'll have the American breakfast. That sounds nice. It had maple syrup, it had bacon, it had pancakes, sausage and hash browns. And I thought, oh, yeah, that sounds lovely. And I went there, and they didn't have any pancakes, so I'm a bit annoyed. What I do need to make sure is on the browser capture, if I have to sign into anything, I need to make sure I don't. Not that I don't reveal my email, because people know my email. It's in the description of my channel. The password is the main thing. I mean, there's 2FA on it anyway, so it won't be the end of the world, but that's something you do need to be careful about. I'm not sure OBS has got an auto blur feature. I guess I don't think it expects people to be that stupid. Right, let's try this. So the screen may go black for a couple of seconds just while I get the window capture up. We'll just have to bear in mind that with me. So it may or may not go black. So Stand by. You should still be able to hear me. You should still be able to hear me. One moment, please. Hey. I think it's working. There we go. So there's my browser capture. If I type in cheese, does that come? I can't look at OBS and the browser at the same time, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see it says cheese. So, lovely. So that's my browser setup. It's my browser capture setup. Lovely. Oh, now it's moaning at me. Now it's still moaning at me. So I'll be able to use that later. Lovely. I will be needing that at some point to tell you what I'm on about. In case you're wondering what this monstrosity is here, it's simply the joist that holds up the roof. If it wasn't there, the whole house would collapse. Well, no, it wouldn't, because they're not designed like that. I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but this is a joist here. And if you're wondering what this is down here, this is my controller drawer. And if you're wondering what this thing is, it's my elbow. And this is the wire down here that goes to the webcam, in case you're wondering. Jaden says that sounds incredible. Yeah, I was right looking forward to it as well, and I didn't have any. I was gonna do some. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. Can I access this on my phone? I'd imagine I can. Yes, I can. I'm just gonna post a link in the chat now. Because I'm about to talk about that Triang pannier tank, because that's on sale at the moment. But I'd start it off running to demonstrate it. Now the points are dodgy, that's why it's not running. Come on. There we go. Because these points need bending back into shape, they're not making a good contact. Oh, come on. But yeah, it doesn't help that there's rocks in the points either, if I'm honest. Oh dear. It's completely rocked up at those points. There's rocks all over them. You won't be able to see up there because it's too far away. I guess that counts as another mishap. Because rocks in my points. There we go. That's 2. Where was I? Oh, I was going to put this link in, wasn't I? There we go. Oh, and now it's going off like a rocket. Nearly faster than tornado. There we go. So in the chat, I have just posted a link. You may... Oh, it's actually formatted itself as a link. I thought it wouldn't. I thought it'd just stay like that. But in the chat is a link to my eBay page, my parents' eBay page. So if you see stuff that's furniture on it, I apologise for that. It's simply because we're having a kitchen done and we're having to sell our old furniture. So if you see furniture or clothes on that at any point, it is just because I share the account. Now, the Triang pannier tank is for sale. Now, I do say this every time, and it's the long way around of saying it. But as you know, or if you don't know, if you're on my channel for the first time, or I just haven't heard it before, I do a thing where I buy non-running or poorly running engines off eBay, I actually do them up, so I service them, I clean them, I give them new brushes if they need to. I get them back up to running condition, and I sell them on for a little bit of profit. I sell them on for a little bit of profit compared to what I bought them for, just to help me buy a couple of things for my layout, and also if I sell them at a fair price, which I do believe I sell everything at a fair price, then the person who buys the item off me knows they will have got a good quality item. Obviously, until they've bought it and tested it on the layout, they might think, oh, this might not work as he says, because some eBay sellers are a bit dodgy. But eventually, when they do receive the item, they'll realise that it's good quality. So somebody knows after they've got the model that they've got it for a good price and it runs well. So that's the benefits for them. They get a cracking running model for a fair price. And the benefits for me is I get to experience different mechanisms, which means I have, well, more experience in servicing locomotives in general. And I also get £5, £6, £7 to put towards my layout, which might buy me a new coach. It might buy me some ballast. It might buy me some drivers and firemen. Might buy me some LEDs. So I bought the Triang pannier tank that you can see going around there. I bought that for £15, so it's £15 auction price and free postage. So I bought that, got sent to me, put it on my track, dead, nothing. No buzz, it didn't short out the controller, no buzz, no whine, no squeal, no growl, no movement, no nothing. So took it apart and somebody had fitted a Hornby 01 chip in, which is basically the 1970s or 80s version of DCC or digital command control that we have today. So I took that chip out, gave it a bit of a service, well, gave it a full service, cleaned the axles, lubricated them, did the motor, scraped out the slots, did all that business, and now it runs fine. Cleaned the pickups, did everything, did a full service on it, and now, as you can see, it's running absolutely fine. So it is for sale. So I always say when I do sell things, obviously you do not have to buy them. I'm not forcing you to buy them. But if you would like to participate in the bidding, then if you would like to, I stress, if you would like to, then you are more than welcome to bid on the engine. The link is in the chat and you should be able to click on that. So if you're in the market for the Triang pannier tank, you can buy it if you would like. I have remembered, actually, I forgot something in the listing, which I should add. I've just realised now looking at it. Jaden says he's got to go for a second. I'll be back in a minute or two. Okay, Jaden, that's fine. I forgot to put in the listing that it's missing its chimney topper. So I will change that. Not going to change it midstream because it means signing into eBay and I can't be bothered doing that. But I will remember to add that it is missing its copper chimney topper. It doesn't make a massive difference, but that's still something I should have remembered to put on the listing. Also on eBay, there are a fair other few bits. I've got a 01 chip that came out of there because I don't need it, so there's no point me keeping it. I'm never going to have the system to be able to even run 01 even if I wanted to, so I thought I'd chuck it on eBay, maybe get a couple of quid for it, and hopefully somebody gets a decoder. I've got some other decoders on. I've got a Triang Flying Scotsman rolling chassis, a Triang Princess Elizabeth rolling chassis, the body for that, an 040 rolling chassis, the body for that. What else have I got? I've got some points if you're in the market for some Pico points. I've got 3 left hand, I believe. They're either left or right hand. 3 left or right hand Pico second radius points. So yeah, I've got a fair few things on. And hoping to make a little bit of money to progress with some hills. As I always say, you do not have to buy them. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not asking you to. But if you would like to, if you do happen to be in the market for any of the things that I'm selling, then do feel free to bid. Right, I think we'll stop the trains now and we'll get some requests on. So if you'd like to put your requests in the chat now, please, that will be spiffing. Bam, perfect stop. Perfect stop, that's in the middle of the platform. It looks a bit shorter here because of the camera angle. And we'll get the D11 stopped as well. Blam. Smashing. So we will get some requests. So any requests, put them in the chat now, please. And I'll just go through another one of the points on my agenda. So because I am selling some things on eBay, I'm selling more than the pannier tank than I've just been through. Sorry. I am going to hopefully make a bit of money from it. So what I'm actually hoping to do with the bit of money I make from the eBay selling is I'm hoping to buy some coach lighting. Now, if I can whip up my browser thing to show you a bit better, let's see if this will work. Yes, there we go. So if I whip up the browser thing and I'll show you what I'm on about, battery powered coach lighting. I'm hoping with the bit of money I make from selling some of my spare parts and obviously the 8 or so quid from the Triang engine, I am hoping to get some coach lighting because the coach lighting I've currently got um, is. I will just point out that this isn't my address, it's some random thing that eBay pops up, so don't be thinking I've given away my address. eBay has. What am I trying to say? Put my teeth in. I think it's about £4 it cost. So I'm hoping to replace and install some battery powered lighting into some coaches. I think it came with a reed switch. So the current coach lighting I've got, if I can reach across the room from my computer, is in. If I pull up the mainline cam, is in these Pullman coaches. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The lighting in here isn't that good. It's a very, very, very dodgy system. I should have really thought better. But it's basically on the bottom because it's out of focus. You can't really see. But hopefully you can just make out two backs of copper wires that touch the back of two wheels on that side and then touch the back of two wheels. Yeah, you can just see that there on this side. Now, it's not a very good system. If I try and demonstrate on this track here, this is why I have this siding always ready to go so I can do a quick demo. If I turn it on and whack it up, yes, it does light up, it looks okay. If I rail it properly, it might work a bit better. But as you can see, or as you should have been able to see, especially over the points, this might not flicker as much on the camera because shutter speed and frame rate, but yes, you can see it flicker in there. Yeah, you can see that. As you can see, if you look in the shadows down here, it's a bit more obvious, but as you can see, it does flicker quite a bit, and even more so on the main running lines that get used far more often than these sidings. So it was all right. It was all right for a bit of a test. It didn't cost much to install the lighting, but obviously, if you've got lighting contacts on the back of wheels, it means carbon build-up. You're going to have to keep on top of them, etc, etc. So what I've decided to do is go for a battery powered system. So if I can pull the right thing up here, will I be able to? So what I've decided to do is go for a battery powered approach instead. So you know the little button cells, the CR2032, you can get things like that, which are basically, if I click on one of these, it might show me. Basically like, is this still showing up? I can't talk and do. Basically, like the little button cells that you put in the backs of watches or very, very small, like controllers or little toy cars or stuff like that. Um, and you can go for a battery powered system. So I'm going to use one of the little button cells, but you can get rechargeable ones. So you can get, like, the battery that's in your phone, it's rechargeable. You can basically get a small rechargeable button cell battery. And I'm going to run it off battery system instead. And what you can do is use something called a reed switch. So a reed switch is a magnetically operated switch, which means that when you bring a strong magnetic field from a magnet nearby, it will close the switch and the lighting will come on. So what I can actually do, if I quickly demonstrate, is instead of having all this malarkey with all the pickups and having to proper ram the body on to squish all the pickup wires down, and all the stuff like that, because the wires from here have to be reasonably thick, because there's loads of wires in here. I've had to proper ram the body down and glue them on in some others. It's not been very good. So instead of having all this on here, I can drill a very, very small hole on the bottom of the carriage where you won't ever be able to see it, and I can actually recess the magnet and sort of maybe stick the magnets to a bit of metal or something, which will then in turn activate the reed switch inside, which will close the circuit and will put the lights on and off. I'm always going to go for a latching one where you can just wipe the magnet over and it stays on, and wipe the magnet over again and it comes off. But I've decided to go for that one because I can. It's easier to fit, it's less expensive, and it'll make all the difference. And because it's battery powered, it's a constant supply. So even if I turn the track off, even if I pick it up off the track, the lighting will stay on. And it's very simple. It's simply blong a magnet on, run, it's on, take the magnet off, it's back off again. It's a lot easier than installing a switch in the bottom of these flimsy bits of plastic. So that is my plan. I am planning to add battery powered coach lighting to all of my lighting, to all of my coaches, all of my 12 coaches, and that's what I'm using the money from the selling of all my bits of spare parts, and that's what I'm using. That's the funds from that is going to fund my coach lighting spree. It's not really spree, but that's what's happening. So hopefully in a couple of weeks we will have nearly, if not all, of my coaches lit up. I am struggling to find this at the moment. Is it showing up on OBS? No. I'll try and find it, what it is for you. It's very difficult to find. It was difficult to find in the first place, but I will try and find it. Any requests, by the way, anyone? So requests are open. So if you would like one, pop it in the chat now while I'm just quickly trying to find the listing for you. Pop your requests in and I will get them on as soon as possible. Ah, this was it. Here we go. This was it. Difficult to find. But here we go. So this is what it is. Come on. Enlarge. There we go. So this is what it is. So it's a small battery like that you put into the battery holder. You put the reed switch in series with one of the leads, and the other leads go straight to the LED tape. You can cut it to size along these points where the black line is between the 4 copper dots, and you can put the battery in, and there's the little magnet. You get one magnet for it and you get another one spare, so that's very useful. I'll have some spares for remagnetizing screwdrivers and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do. It says it's a lithium battery, but the actual rechargeable lithium batteries are, I think they are. Let me think. I'll have to Google. I think they are called LAR 2032s instead of CR 2032s. So what I'll do is I will use this battery until it dies, and then with the extra money I've got from buying my stuff on eBay, what I will actually do is I will take these batteries out of all of them when I die, because I need 12 of these sets. So I'll have 12 batteries and 24 magnets, because you get 2. So what I'll do eventually is I will buy a couple of lithium CR 2032 chargers or LAR 2032 chargers, and I'll buy the rechargeable versions of these CR 2032 batteries. And what I can then do is when one dies, I just whip the coach body off. It's a 2-minute job, plug it into a USB socket, and it will charge up. So I'll probably end up getting 2 or 3 chargers so I can charge a lot of these batteries at the time. And I will buy a sort of starter kit or starter pack of quite a lot of these rechargeable versions of these batteries, because these batteries are expensive. Yes, the rechargeable ones are expensive, but they might last for one might last for 1,000 hours of use. One battery you can recharge and recharge and recharge and recharge as much as you want, whereas these, once they're gone, they're dead. So in the long run, it will make a lot more monetary sense to buy the rechargeable ones because more cost effective. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's get back on. Sorry for that diversion, everyone. I thought I'd just give you a in-depth update because I haven't had a stream in a few weeks now, have I? So let's get cracking. Pete says he would like a mixed, please. Okay, that's fine. So what I'll do, actually, I think I'll just keep all these wagons on here. I'll split them up into 2s. And leave... Oops. Clearly I can't count. I thought there'd only be 1 with the brake van, whereas there was 3. So I'll split them up into 2s, Pete. Because you can probably guess what engine I'm about to get out next. A pretty beefy one. Boop. Back on. What I will do is I will stick the container wagons in the middle, and then I'll get some of my other miscellaneous freight. Jaden, yes, I did know the SVR, did you say, Severn Valley Railway? Yeah, I did know they were painting it in purple. I do believe they've finished painting it in purple, actually. It does look nice. I know Hornby have released a model that's nearly 300 quid. I thought, if it's 100 quid, I might buy it. And if I don't like it in a few years, I can always sell it on eBay. But no, it's 300 quid. I'm not spending 300 quid on a loco like that. I'm not that patriotic. But yeah, Hornby have released a model, or are releasing a model of Tor Valley, aren't they? I think it's ridiculous that they can charge that much myself. But if people can afford it, then I guess there's obviously enough demand for it for Hornby to warrant making one in the first place. I have seen the video. She does look stunning. The real life one looks stunning. And I'm sure Hornby's model will be as well, but yeah. It's not worth the price for me. I mean, I wasn't necessarily going to buy it even if it was an affordable price. I just considered it like you consider anything, don't you? But yeah, I think it's ridiculous myself. They can charge that much. Charge that much for a normal one as well. It's disgraceful. However, I'm not Hornby head of marketing. I know the financial status at the moment is pretty poor, but the way to get around financial debt is not to make everything cheaper, make everything more expensive. It's to make everything cheaper so more people can afford it and make more of it. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, yeah, a little price increase to cover shipping and material costs, but I think that amount of price increase is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, it's time for... I don't want to call it an unsung hero of my layout because it's not really a hero, and people do know I've got it. But it's time for the 31. So we'll back that up. Hopefully it'll couple all right. Has it coupled? Yes, there we go. So there's your request, Pete. Thank you very much for that. Nice long heavy train for her there. I know it's for the Jubilee, Jaden, but it's still ridiculous. If you're on about the model in real life, I knew that as well. Just in case you're on about the real life one or the model one. Jaden, have you got a request? Anyone can have one. Hey, the frying pan of your tank isn't that warm either. That's good. So anyone can have a request. Jaden, I'll let you have one, and I'll stick mine on the middle line. Oh, sorry, the riddles line, I should say. So Jaden, if you would like to submit a crest, that's great. Pop it in now. If you don't want to, then I'll just put 2 on for myself. Here we go. This is going to be mine. Lovely concoction of red. Yeah, you're right, Jaden. As I said, I considered buying it, but that was before I saw the price. If it was £100, then yeah, it'd be worth it, because in a few years you'd be able to sell it on if you didn't want it, or you'd have it as a collector's piece. Something's derailed. Whoops. I'll investigate that in a moment. But yeah, that's ridiculous, is that price. I'm going to do, well, nearly all my red locomotives. So there's the Triang 040 and the 03.10, and the 03.10 can literally pull every single piece of rolling stock I own. So she's not going to have any problems. Hopefully. I've never actually run these 2 engines together. I wonder how well they'll perform, because one's a Ringfield style motor and one is the XO3 or 4. I can't remember what's in that one. Golden Eagle's out of action, Jaden. Well, it's not out of action, it's just I don't want to run it in fear of damaging it. The chassis is warped from when I tried to remove the motor block. You might remember it'll be almost a year ago now, maybe a year and a half. I tried to remove the motor block, and removing that warped the chassis. And because the chassis's, been freed from the seized motor block, it's just warped even more. So I do need a new chassis for Golden Eagle. So yeah, unfortunately, she does work. I can run her if I absolutely have to, but I don't want to run her for fear of, knackering up the gears and that, because, basically, if I use, well, I can probably show you actually. It's been like this ever since I got it, but it's just got even more so with the problem. You might be able to see, you might not. But I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can definitely see. You can see here, these are the one pair of driving wheels here, and these are another pair of driving wheels here. So you can see that these ones are at the right height. The bearing box, the axle box is in the middle of the wheel, but you can see all the way back here how sunk this wheel is into the chassis, and there's no way to rectify that. Even if I spin it, there's no change. It's just got really sunk into the chassis, and that's because this plastic side bit is the chassis. So yeah, it causes it to sort of run at an angle like that, and because the brake rig in there, it just bounces up and down on points, and yeah, it's not very good. So that's another bit that needs changing. Tornado, yes, I have Tornado, but I don't have Teaks, unfortunately, so I can just run it as it is. Let's knock the mishap count up to 3, because the 31 stalled, not because it's not a powerful loco, it's because one of the wagons derailed. So that's mishap count 3. So we can set that one going. Lewis, thank you very much for joining. Hope you're doing okay. Lovely to see you. Oh, all right then. Another mishap, because that's derailed now. This is the wagon that locks its wheels up, that's probably why. You can come off. Probably need to drill out the axles on that one. We've got quite a few that seize up in the heat, because it is quite warm up here today. Anyway, that seems all right now. I actually engage both coupling hooks, so there we go. I don't have any teaks at the moment, Jaden. That is something I do need to get. So let's go on the third radius. Oh wow, those two actually run really well together from a first glance. The wheels, the rotation of the wheels seems to be fairly similar, actually. I'm surprised. Tornado light. Okay, I can do that. I think what I'll do, actually, to save me having to take all these coaches off the track and put them back on later, what I'll do is I can couple Tornado back up. I'll set Tornado off, and then quickly, before she comes round again... Oh, she's... Okay. I'm not counting that as a mishap, because that's my fault she wasn't on the track. So that's technically not a mishap. because I failed to do it correctly in the first place. What I'll do is I'll whip these coaches into the siding, and I can just whip them out later. There we go. Need to push them in from over here now. And there we go, they're out of the way. Yeah, you're right, Pete. Third time lucky for Jaden. Oh, that wagon's derailed. Oh, all of the wagons there have derailed. That's gone horrifically. Ah, Lewis, you're one of the buyers of the painted Tor Valley. We've just been... I'm going to be brutally honest, we've just been complaining about the price. But if you think it's a nice loco, then that's fair enough. I'm not saying it's not a nice loco, it's just saying, me personally, I couldn't ever dream of spending nearly 300 quid on an engine like that. Right, I've removed some of the faulty wagons, or wagons that just cause everything to derail. So that's mishap count 5 now. Some of my wagons are a bit dodgy. Right, I think everything's up and going. Just about. I mean, it is fair enough if you're going to buy the Tor Valley for... I don't even know what I'm going to say. Oh yeah, special occasion. If you're looking forward to getting one, then that's alright. Or if you, as you've said, you like to get one, yeah. I suppose we'd all like to get a lot of models, but I can't afford spending 300 quid on a Bachmann 47, even though they look absolutely really lovely. I'll have to get a second-hand one. Single camera action now. I've just missed the 31. I'll not give you nausea and I'll let the trains go past for a while. There's the 31. Quickly change to Sea Tornado there. And there we go. Now, something I'm wondering, is the Triangle 40 beefy enough to pull all 4 of these Virgin coaches? Because they are some of the most free-rolling coaches I own, despite one of them having plastic wheels. Let's chuck that in there out of the way. So I wonder if it can pull it on its own. It's a fairly beefy loco. It's very heavy. Might need a bit of a push. Oh, lovely. It's managing 4 coaches on its own. Wonderful. Could put the pannier at the back bank in if it needs some help, but if it gets round, it should be fine. A lot of people do say, Jaden, that older models are better quality. I do have to agree with them, at least sometimes. God, crikey, that's a long train, isn't it? It's on 2 cameras at once. Jaden says, the model I think looks better than the purple one is my unrebuilt Southern Black Merchant Navy. It's one of the newer unrebuilt Merchant Navies saw on release last year. Ah, yeah, I'm not keen on the Black Merchant Navies. It's like having a black A4. I don't really agree with it. I know Sir Nigel Gresley's in wartime black at the moment. For a running in period, but myself, I don't agree with black streamlined. Oh, that can't go on there actually. I don't agree with black streamlined locos. I mean, you might say the 9F streamlines, but that's really smoke deflectors. It's not really streamlining. But you know, so yeah, just don't really agree with it. I'm not saying it looks bad. If I was going to buy a model, I'd buy a model of that engine in the best colour possible. I mean, the 9F looks fabulous in black, but if it was an A4, I wouldn't choose to buy an A4 in black. I'd probably buy one in green or blue or something. What shunter's that, Jaden? That sounds interesting. It wasn't the 08, was it? I had to bump up the power on the 040 because it wasn't quite getting enough beans. Is it the 08? Or is it the 0020 or what? Didn't you say a few weeks ago, Jaden, as well, you were looking to service a loco for the first time? How did that go, if you did end up servicing it? How did that go? I'd be interested to know. Yeah, I don't agree with you there, Jaden, unfortunately. I'm not particularly keen on it myself. What shunt is that, Jaden? I would be interested to know. If you know what it is, well, I'd hope you do. I could have a Google. Got my browser open for a reason. Hornby. It probably wouldn't have been Hornby then. It'd probably been Triang, wouldn't it? Oh, come on. That 040 might need some oil. Sounds a bit ropey. It wasn't the dock shunter, was it? Was it a steam engine? Well, it must be a steam engine. If it's a pannier tank. No, the dock shunter was 1965. Oh dear. The 040 has broken down. So there goes my red theme. And there goes another mishap on the counter, which I'll do in just a second. Not to worry. I think it needs some oil. We want to go... Oh, no, we do want to go that way. So let's back it up. Let's get the other camera on. Oh, Jaden, I know what you might be on about. I think. Be interesting. Does it work, by the way? It'd be interesting to see that going around on your layout if it does. I've also noticed you've got a Triang 101 BR Green DMU. How was that treating you? Because that looks like an interesting engine. I know it's certainly got an interesting mechanism. Does your Triang DMU work? Because I've seen it in your sidings quite a few times. I'd be interested to know if that works as well. I'll get it on the browser. At some point, I will have a setup so that I can have my browser screen you know, to one side and the train's in like a column in the other. It's just that I've had to quickly set it up at the start of today, so I don't really want to be fiddling around with cameras halfway through. I could do, though. Jaden, I'll pop it on for you. Oh no, that's not it. EDL1? This is not what I'm thinking of. Hornby. It's not that, is it, Jaden? Oh, EDL7. Oh, way off. He says it's a 19... Oh, Jaden says it does run. Just a bit of a pain to just track for its like and I could give it a shot. What about the... What about the... Oh, what was I saying? What about the Triang BR Green 101? That looks like an interesting engine as well. Hornby LSWR. Is that it? Is that it, Jaden? That's just the first result. I mean, it looks old enough. Hornby 00/Ren. Yeah, let me know if that's the right one. I'll get off this screen and stop annoying everyone. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually. Why not? Let's have a bit of fun. Let's mess around with the cameras. So you can see what using OBS is like. Where's the middle of the screen? There we go. And across a bit. And what I'll need to do is add the background. Let's do a bit of live mucking about here. Oh, Jaden says it's about the 101. Says it's very, very similar. Okay. Good to know I can Google things then. Can I get the image file for this? Oh, God. Help. George YouTube stuff. OBS stream stuff. Images and thumbnails. Images. Stream BG. Open. Done. There we go. So I should be able to get everything on now. So add video capture device. Add existing. 2K webcam. Blam. There we go. And then if you add another one, video capture device, TechNet webcam, blam, it's on. And if I bring this, if I get this one as big as I can, and then snap it to the middle of the screen, which is there, maybe down a slight bit, and there, and I might be able to get these two here. They're not going to be very big. That doesn't matter. When I'm on the browser screen, I'm going to be wanting to show you the browser anyway. I make that one like that. And size it to be the same as that one. Roughly. Mark, Hemel Model Railway, thank you very much for joining. Good to see you. How are you doing? If I line these up roughly here. There we go. That's my new browser screen. So you'll be able to see, oh, this one needs to be a bit bigger. That's quite obvious that that one's Bit bigger. There we go. So that's my browser screen. You can see the trains and you can see the browser at the same time. I'll just check that works. If I go here, go back to my OBS screen. Hey, that works. Smashing. So that's my new browser screen. Lovely. That's another job I've done. Right, let's get thinking about stopping the trains again. I'm all right, Mark. Thank you for joining. Thanks for asking. On the main line says he's dropping me an email. Thank you, Jaden. I will read that. Might be able to pull it up midstream. That's pretty much a perfect stop I'm going to get because the train's too long to fit in the platform. Tornado, stick it anywhere about there. Lovely. So nice run of trains there. Nice selection. So if anyone's got any requests, do put them in the chat now. I will give you a couple of minutes to do that whilst I read out the next item on the agenda. So any requests, you can have absolutely anything at all. Do pop them in the chat now. You've got a couple of minutes to do that while I read the next thing on the agenda. We seem to have reached a steady state for people coming and joining the stream. So I will just now mention about last week's stream. So unfortunately, last week's stream was supposed to be a tribute to the Great Western Railways HST. I was going to go on Train Sim World. I was going to do a little bit of an hour and a half, hour and three-quarter usual stream, but doing it on Train Sim World and taking the Great Western Railways HST on all sorts of different routes to celebrate the beginning of its retirement and the fact that it's been replaced by Azumas and new models of DEMUs and DMUs and EMUs. Yeah, and obviously it's appearing on rail tours, as you know. So when things start appearing on rail tours, you start to think, well, that's not really running anymore. But yeah, so I was out all day last week. I went to watch my cousin racing. I didn't do it on Saturday because we were doing a family event, and we were out all on Sunday. So I had to very, very quickly get the setup up. I had to bring a spare TV up here for a second monitor so I could press buttons on OBS and still play the game on the screen. And it was quite annoying. To set up. So I got back, it was starting to get, sort of 10, 15 minutes after my stream, and I was still having to set up. And Mark from Hemel Down Mod Railway, he knows about this as well because he was there. So there was a bit of a failure because as soon as I started playing the intro music, by intro music, I mean this. You all know that music, don't you? Because it's on the start of every stream. But as soon as I started to play that, the computer just lagged out. OBS was crashing. It was very glitchy. It was very, poorly running. So, the computer wasn't powerful enough. It was losing frames, like 50% of frames were dropped. I got very, very, very annoyed. And honestly, I get up. It was like 5:15 at this point, and I couldn't be bothered trying to set up a running stream. And obviously, it was getting late, and I didn't have enough time because it was getting late on Sunday and tea had been ready in only 45 minutes. So unfortunately, I did have to give up on the Great Western Railway HST celebration stream. So unfortunately, that stream isn't unfortunately going to happen for quite a long time now. I will either need a PC powerful enough to run the game and run OBS at the same time, or I will have to get a PC that can stream the Xbox to a telly screen up here and run it sort of from the Xbox, but cast the image from the Xbox to the laptop, and the laptop be beefy enough to process that. So yeah, unfortunately that couldn't happen just because of the software. Well, not software, but because of the hardware of the PC. Just unfortunately isn't good enough, and that's not my mum and dad's fault because they didn't buy this PC to do streaming on and playing games. It's just that I happen to borrow it, so I can use OBS. So yeah, I do apologise about that, but unfortunately, nothing really I can do. Anyway, requests are coming in. Lewis says, can you run Tornado with some Pullman coaches? Absolutely, I can stick all four on. Be warned if you do have PSE or photosensitive epilepsy. These coaches do tend to flash a fair bit just because of the dodgy pickups, and that's why I am replacing them, as I did explain earlier, with battery-powered coach lights. Means I can salvage all the diodes and all the rectifiers back from these. That's another good thing about the the battery-powered lighting system is I don't have to have a load of diodes and rectifiers in here, so it'll work in both directions. Because if you don't have a rectifier, it will only work in one direction. One direction the LEDs will light, the other ones they don't. So yeah, that's another good thing. So there we go. So that was Lewis Cartwright, who's spending Monday with his girlfriend, who was his ex-crush. I don't know why I read that out on stream. I just thought I would. So we'll whip Tornado around. I'm not sure she'll couple because they're two different couplings, but if I bend it in, it might. There we go. So Lewis, as your coaches, do be aware that they do flicker. And that one at the front isn't lighting because it hasn't got lighting fitted to it. So there you go, Lewis. There's your request. Thank you very much for that. Any more requests, folks? I'll pull up Jaden's email he sent me, but he's told me not to read it out loud, so I'll respect his wishes. I wouldn't have read it out loud anyway. But any more requests, do pop them in the chat now, just while I have a minute to read Jaden's email. So you've got a couple of minutes to get a request, and if you want one, Lewis, you can have more than one. You can have all three if you want, if people don't reply. But just give them a chance. Mark says, no worries, these things can happen. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah. Oh, crikey, I've got a load of emails. Not from Jaden, just random emails. Okay, Jaden, I've read your email. I'll give you a bell about that later. Well, give you a bell implies ring you, doesn't it? But I will email you later. They're not actually that flickery on camera. I think it's because of the FPS and shutter speed, but to my eyes, they are quite flickery. You might notice it over these two sets of points there and the one that's going over now. Yeah, they're not that flickery on stream, but to my eyes, they are very flickery. Although not as bad as usual because I've just cleaned the track, but... Anyway, nobody's put a request in. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip Salopia, or Salopia, or however you want to say it. I'm not really bothered. Whip that off the track. We'll keep the freight wagons. Freight wagons, container wagons. Say the right term, George, you buffoon. So we'll whip all these off. Hand of God. Hand of some bloke in a grey hoodie. So we've whipped all them off. And quickly gather all these up. Whoops. That's coal all over the platform. You're welcome, Lewis. No problem. I do as well. It needs a new body, though, because one of the window supports has cracked. And it's got some marks on the body that have become a bit more serious over time. So eventually, when I do have some disposable income that I'm not spent upgrading coaches or whatever, I will get a new body because the whistle's been glued on back wonkily. There's a bit of a brown poo stain on the roof. It's not poo stain, I'm just saying it for a laugh. But there's a brown stain on the roof and one of the window supports has been glued about 3 times. As for the third radius line, we're going to take that train off. We're going to stick the pannier back on here in the right direction because it was going in reverse earlier. So we'll get that going. We'll set full wave on the controller. And off it goes. I was just testing if it needed full wave, but I think it does. Has a habit of slowing down if it isn't. There we go. And as for the third radius, 2 virgin coaches. Coaches. What am I on about? What am I actually on about? God. That's going to whack. No, maybe not. We're going to put the 2 Virgin HST power cars. There we go. We'll put those on. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to stand up. I don't want to have to stand up. Oh, for Pete's sake. Get a life. No, it was the back bogey after all that. Right, there's the HST. Let's give it some beans. 3, 2, 1, full power. Oh, does that need full wave? Alright, there you go. Boost mode is on the main line likes to say. There we go. We're off and running. Oh, and there's the Virgin coach. I'll shift to that. I'll put that over here because no doubt somebody will want to see that later. I can actually speak. I can't speak today. Absolutely can't. I think the wheels might need a clean on that pannier. I haven't cleaned them. That was one of the things on my list of jobs to do. I was going to clean it when I'm absolutely certain I'm not going to run it anymore, so the wheels are pristine. They are quite dirty at the moment, but I didn't want to clean them and then get dirty and then have to clean them before I sent them away to the new owner when they win it. So I decided to just leave it, and if it's a bit stuttery, that's just because the wheels need cleaning. And the track on that second radius as well. We do, Jaden. I don't have to wear my braces, my removable braces during the day anymore now. It's just at night, so I thought, all right, I'll be lovely and fluent. I won't be like, oh, I won't be speaking like Donald Duck and spitting all over the place. But no, I just can't speak now. I have read the emails, Jaden. I have. I said I'd email you again later. Speed and power makes me lighter in my mind. Also, another little update about YouTube Shorts. You might have noticed if you've been on my channel page at all this week that I've not had time to actually make them this week due to commitments. I had to go to the dentist yesterday, and thus my piano lesson was moved from Friday to Thursday. So due to those commitments this week, I haven't had a chance to make the YouTube Shorts. So after the stream has ended, depending on when my tea is ready, so at some point from, well, after the stream has ended... Oh dear. That's a big derailment. At some point from after the stream has ended to, say, about 9 o'clock tonight, expect between those two times there for a collection of 2 YouTube shorts to be coming out at the same time. I'll just bung them both out together at the start of this stream. Now, I did actually forget to add 2 different mishaps on, so we're currently on 7 mishaps out of 10. But yeah, expect at some point tonight before 9 o'clock for 2 YouTube shorts to be coming out. Just don't have time this week. Again, just a reminder, it's not a reminder, this is just a very polite notice that if you're in market for any spares or you're fancying a different locomotive, or if you're in market for any of the locomotives that I'm currently selling, then there is my eBay link. As I always say, I'm not forcing you to buy anything, I'm not asking you to buy anything, but if you are in market for anything of the things I've got for sale on eBay at the moment, then do feel free to place a bid if you like. As I say, not forcing you, not asking you to, but I just thought I'd let you know just in case. This pannier tank is one of the things. I do need to add that the chimney topper's missing because I forgot to add that. Clarkson, where's my roof? I might have to turn the mic volume down for the next bit, otherwise I will literally deafen you all. Clarkson, where are my shoes? That was one I watched the other day, and it was one of the most hilarious things I've watched in ages. Also, I cannot get over how James May can make such a deep, growling, but really elongated Clarkson. Like if you know, remember when they did the Africa special when they were in Uganda, and he shouted Clarkson when he'd nicked the bit of sheet metal out the front of his Volvo, because Jeremy wanted to use it for the side of his door. If you remember when he shouted, Jeremy was on about the peaceful stillness of this beautiful Ugandan morning was shattered by the bellow of a wild animal. He went, Clarkson! I just cannot believe how well James May is able to shout Clarkson. I mean, it's one of the best shouts of somebody's name I've ever heard in my entire life. I just can't get over how good it is. I have actually just noticed yet another mishap, and that's because we're not on Hybrid Mod Railway Live episode 7. We're on Hybrid Mod Railway Live episode 8. So I've nosed that up a bit, so that's another mishap. We're getting a bit close here, aren't we? Getting a little bit close. Clarkson, where are my shoes? You see, if I tried to do a voice as deep and as long and as raspy, or as well, not raspy, but growly as James May's, A, I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd burst out from laughter. B, I'd end up having a massive voice crack half the way through. And C, I probably wouldn't have a voice for the next 3 years. So, yeah, that's why I say it in my normal voice. Clarkson, where are my shoes? Jaden, I've just noticed you've said so. Taking it as a no. Is that in reference to reading my email? I have said twice I have read my email. I know you've been running about, but I have read your email. We're doing quite well on dropped frames today. Only 501. Which is 0.3%, so I can probably calculate how many frames have been total. So we've been 1 hour 23 minutes, let's say 1 hour 24 minutes by the time I've done it. So 1 hour is 60 minutes plus 24 minutes is 84 minutes times 60 to get it into seconds times 30 frames a second. So total frames today, or so far as of 1 hour 24 minutes of streaming time, we've had 151,200 frames as of 3, 2, 1 now. So we've had 151,200 frames and only 501 have been dropped. That's unbelievable. If I do times 0.03, that's not right. It was a no in regards to the email, but yeah, Jade and I have read it. Oh no! It wouldn't be 0.03 because that'd be 3%, and it's 0.3% dropped frames, so it's 151,200 divided by 0.003. No, it's times 0.003 times 0.003 is 453.6 frames, and the actual frame count is 401, so that's fairly accurate actually. I don't know why I read you the total frame count each stream. I guess I'll just do it for sake. I mean, it's not Jaden. What was it the other week? It was something. I'm gonna have to remember what it is now. We were doing surds, which is basically a square root and a number on the outside and a number on the inside of the square root symbol. Let me work it out. It was something like we were doing areas of cones or surface area of cones or something like that. And I had to do 134 plus 35 to get 169. And you can square root 169 to get a nice round number of 13, because 13 times 13 is 169. So therefore the square root of 169 is 13. So instead of doing 135 plus 34 is 169, what I did was 134 plus, 135 plus 100. Oh my God, I can't speak. Instead of doing 135 plus 34 was 169, I did 135 plus 34 is 181. And as a result, lost about 3 marks on that question. And also yesterday, in maths, I did 6 divided by 0 was 1. I can be pretty thick at times. Normally my maths is average, but absolutely shocking it was yesterday, I tell you. It was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. I hope I don't have to resit any of my exams. I haven't so far. Tornado seems to be going a bit slow. Let's whack her up a bit. More power, more speed. Klaxon, where are my shoes? That's the wrong quote. Forget it. Pannier Tank's picked up some speed. Notch her back a bit. Seems to have warmed up a bit now. Right then, I think we'll have some more requests. Give me a chance to talk about my agenda a little bit more, just while people get their ideas in. So if you would like a request, please pop it into the chat now. You've probably got around 2.5 minutes while I do the next item on the agenda. You've got around 2.5 minutes from now to put any requests you would like in. So anyone can have one. Put your requests in now, please. And also the good thing I have just realised about having battery-powered lights in coaches is that the brightness doesn't change by the speed on the track. And when you turn your power off to stop at a station, the coach lights will stay on. So very nice. So next item on the agenda, do be putting your requests in now if you would like one. Next item on the agenda is an update on the Class 37. So if I bring up the browser tab, I need to... Ooh, actually. I normally have keyboard shortcuts. So to put all the cameras on, which is this screen, is Control A because all cam begins with A. Station is Control T because T for station. T is the second letter of station. And the only reason why it's T and not S is because when I do get 3 webcams, the keyboard shortcut for siding cam will be Control S. If I did that now, it would just bring up a black screen. So all cam is Control A, station cam is Control T, siding would be Control S, and mainline cam is Control M. I don't have, the Control J for joining video, Control I for intro video, or Control O for outro video, because I can just click them. I don't need to change them without looking at the screen. But what I can do is I can go into the OBS settings and set Control B for browser screen, which means I don't have to keep flipping. You can't see this, I know. But if we scroll down, I'm just describing what I'm doing here. Browser screen, switch to scene, Control B. That's not shouting at me, so we can OK that. And if I go Control B, there we go. It brings up the browser screen on the 2 little things at the side. So what I will do is I'll go on Horn, but I cannot spare. What is that? I'll show you what I'm on about. Better than me describing. I have talked about this quite a little bit before. They're not the actual battery-powered lights, Jaden. I am hoping to fit them in a couple of weeks when I've got the money from my eBay selling. But when the Hornby page loads, I will show you the engine that I'm buying. Now, the engine that I am about to show you was actually supposed to be released in summer this year. So, like June to, I guess, end of August, before September is sort of the autumn, or Q3/4. But what I was supposed to be getting this summer was the Class 37 called Comet. Now, if you've been on my channel recently or regularly throughout the streams, I have talked about this quite a lot. And this is the first time I've seen an engine in this livery available for this sort of price. I could have gone for a Bachmann one, but they're very expensive. I could have gone for a V-Trains one, but they didn't do it in the livery I've wanted. Could have gone for a Helgen one, but that's very expensive. And, they're all way over £150, £200. So this is the engine I'm hoping to get. It's from the Railroad Plus range. It is the Class 37 Comet, number 37116, and it's in the absolutely beautiful BR large logo livery with the black cab surrounds and obviously the yellow cab or nose ends. Now, I have been wanting this train for quite a while, as I've just said, and it's only £96.99, which is quite expensive. Considering Hornby, we've had a 10% price increase recently, and then another 10% price increase. If we didn't have that increase, it would have cost only £77.60. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's gone up a little bit from what it would have cost without the price increase. However, it's much, much cheaper, almost, half as cheap as some of the other options. So I had ordered this, and previously, well, I can, if you want me to be naughty, I can edit this. So it used to be, it previously said it was coming out in summer 2022, which had obviously just been a matter of months away. However, because of, I guess, shipping and manufacturing and availability of parts, etc., or whatever reason in production, um, it's now available, as you can see there, in spring 2023, which is, I'm not going to lie, slightly disappointing. Oh, I can't actually change. I was going to change the date just for demonstrating purposes on the HTML editing, but I can't. But it was going to be available this year, but because it's now available in spring 2023 instead of summer 2023, what I can actually do now is I can buy some things I wouldn't previously be able to afford. So, such as, if I bring my document up, because obviously the Class 37 is now coming lots and lots and lots of months later than previously expected, I can use some of the money that I was going to buy the 37 with, because I've got my birthday coming up and I've got Christmas coming up, so I have got a little bit of chance to recoup my money and do some more buying and selling on eBay. I can now use some of the money I was going to use for the Class 37 to buy styrofoam and hot wire foam cutters and some plaster of Paris and stuff to start sculpting the hills, and hopefully even some static grass and some sort of paint and stuff to start getting scenery done with. So because that is coming so many months later now, I can well, I can start on scenery sooner than I expected. I am aware you could just see that document, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, absolutely cracking. Have we had any requests? I don't think we have. No. Switch off that screen. We haven't had any requests, and I tell you what, just for the last couple of minutes, I'm not going to bother switching the trains round. But what I will do is just get the trains on here running light engine, just for a bit of a nice end. So it's coming up to 6, so I think I best start thinking about stopping soon. So I'll just dump all these off shot. I won't bother putting them away. I'll leave the HST alone, and I'll just get the 2 steamers running and the HST. So just to finish off, that's what we'll do. Just do round everything off. There goes the HST. Not too fast, because I will be talking. Tornado, off you go. Pania, you can go as well. Off she goes. So the last thing to mention on my agenda, I will just post you the eBay link once again, in case it's disappeared off the end of the chat. Again, I'm not forcing you to, but if you're in the market for something, there you go. The last thing to say is that next week's video, so the Tuesday video, is actually going to be the Q&A announcement and the video in which you will post your Q&A questions for my 2 years on YouTube Q&A session. Because that'll only be a short video, it'll literally be a 3-minute video saying you can ask me questions, video coming out on XYZ date, ask me questions on XYZ but not ABC because it's personal information. It'll be a very quick video just explaining what you can ask and what you can't ask for the Q&A, and basically just an announcement for the Q&A. And because that video is so short, I'm going to be releasing 2 videos on Tuesday. I'll do one for 7:15. The Q&A one will come out at 7:15. And then, as you can see there, well, you can't actually, but the story and the trouble I've had with the Class 31, that story and the go through the emails and the entire full story of the 31 is actually going to be coming out on Tuesday at 7:30. So 7:15 is the Q&A announcement for my 2 years on YouTube Q&A session that I do every year around the 16th of May, which is when I created my channel and posted my first video. And at 7:30, that is going to be the full story and going through the emails and talking to you about my Class 31 and all the problems I've had with that. So you've got that to look forward to for this week. And as I said, from the end of the stream, either from the end of the stream and before 9:15 in that time slot, do expect 2 YouTube shorts to be coming out. Let's do some single camera. Just for the moment. In fact, actually, I do need to edit something. One thing I can do for the end of these streams now, because today we have successfully done the challenge of getting less than 10 mishaps. I can now pop the challenge completed message on the screen. I could probably edit that a bit better. Oh no, actually that's all right. So for the first time, well, 1 out of 2 streams, because the first stream in which I did this, I failed to complete the less than 10 mishaps. Obviously, I had to display the challenge failed message, which does actually need, oh dear, which could do with shifting over slightly. Normally, I've had to display the challenge failed message, but for the first time in one of these streams, the second stream, I have actually managed to complete the challenge. So there, I'll put that on, and I think we've done well. Just doing a little bit of behind the scenes manipulating there. I mean, if I'm really fancy, I can even flash it. I could animate it to do this, but it's a lot easier just to hide and unhide that so I can flash it. There we go. Pete said live episode 8, mishap count 8. So yeah, the goal for basically what's going to happen in these streams is if I get mishap counts to be over 10, I think it was at 13 or 14 last time we did one of these, the next stream will still be trying to get it below 10. But if I do get it below 10, the next stream of these will be trying to get it below what I had previously. So the next time I do a perfectionist stream, which is what I'm doing today, we will try and get the count below 8. And if I get it to 3, then I'll try and go below 3. But then if we jump back up to 9, I'll try and go below 9. So if I get below 10, the last time I do, in the previous stream, if I got below 10, I will try to better the score we got then. But if we get above 10, say I had like 13 today, if I did another one next week, I won't be trying to get below 13, I'd just go to below 10. So I think that's what we'll do. We did indeed complete the challenge. Unless everything blows up in the next minute when I'm going to start stopping the trains. Hopefully it doesn't. We're going to get perfect stops. If I do 3 imperfect, I am perfect. I don't know if you can hear me say im. I don't know how clear the voice is with all the trains. So if we do 3, that's why I spelt out I am perfect, just so you know what I mean, just to be clear. But if we can't do 3 perfect stops, then unfortunately in the last few minutes of the stream we will have failed. So I best be on the ball with the controller twiddling. Thankfully 2 trains are going to come at once, and then the HST is going to be around after the 2 steamers, because trying to stop 3 trains at once is an absolute pain in the bottom. So there we go, towards the front edge of the platform, that's fine. Front edge of the platform, that's fine. So even if I nose this one up, we're all right. So there we go, that was 3 perfect stops, and that has been the perfectionist stream. Lovely. Thank you very much for your request as always. Thankfully, Jaden hasn't been sabotaging me with absolutely hideous and horrible and very likely to derail requests. He hasn't done the William Babcock thing on Sam's Trains of requesting the egg vans and the railgun with the smallest, lightest tank engine possible. So I guess thanks for that, Jaden. So yeah, good stream today. Good requests. I will just remind you once again that if you would like to bid on it, then the Triumph pannier tank and a load of other spares and repair stuff is on for sale on my eBay link, which is still appearing in the chat. I haven't actually checked if that eBay link goes to the right page. I flipping well hope it does. Oh, yeah, it goes to the right page. That's fine. So, yeah, that is... Oh, dear. Something's gone badly wrong. Oh, for Pete's sake. In the last few minutes of the stream, you must be joking. Stop. Oh, for Christ. I bet something else is going to go wrong now. Sod's law. Something else will go wrong. Only just under 10. Don't know what happened there. My mouse must have been hovering over the outro video or something, or I pressed enter or something. But yeah, I did slightly ruin that. I'm now aware everyone thinks I've ended the stream just in the middle of a sentence. But yes, that was a complete accident. I do apologise for that. So if I do nose something up now, that does mean that we have failed the challenge in the literally the last few seconds of the stream. So only just done it. Jaden said, "Way we did it," but yeah, only just. But anyway, let's see if I can read the outro stream without the outro script without the whole thing exploding. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining me for today's live stream. It really has been wonderful to see you all here today, and thank you very much for your wacky and wonderful requests as always. I do hope you have enjoyed watching the stream as much as I have had running it. I've really enjoyed doing it today. After a week off and a slight cock up last week with that stream, it's very nice to be back in with the swing of things again. As I said, from the end of the stream to sort of 9 o'clock at night, in that sort of period, do expect 2 YouTube shorts to be coming out. As I said earlier, I did have a lot of commitments this week. And Tuesday's 2 videos is the announcement for Tuesday's video is the announcement for the Q&A, and it is also the full story of the problems I've had with 31, which is currently sitting about half a metre under this board. So, I'll hopefully see you same time next week on Saturday at 4:15, unless I'll go downstairs after the stream and ask if we're still available then. But if we're not available, you do expect me to still be live next Saturday at 4:15 usual time. But if there is a change or anything like that, I will make sure to let you know by the form of a video announcement. But meanwhile, I really would just like to say thank you all very much once again for joining me for this evening stream of the Perfectionist stream. Mishap count 9 so far, and yep, we only just managed to make this one. So next stream we will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, unless something gnaws us up in literally the last 10 seconds now, we will be, the next stream of this format, we will be going for less than 9. So thank you very much indeed for watching, everyone. Take care, and bye for now.